Boom, 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 and a COVID boom. What up, guys? How you guys doing? What's going on? Drivers, passengers, customers, diners, restaurant workers, it doesn't matter. Anybody wanting to learn and check out, what's up? I'm driverman, aka Jose. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. I do these videos on a regular basis where I talk about stuff like this. Anyhow, I wanted to talk to you about Uber drivers and the deal with them right now. So, obviously, it's a very dangerous thing to be doing right now because of the situation. You've got somebody, even if they sit in the back seat, that's still a lot less than 6 feet. And so if they have COVID and they're breathing, which, human beings, unfortunately, we do have to breathe at some point, that's in your car, it could get to you. Yes, if they have COVID, it's highly probable that you will get it because they're that close. So, what some Uber drivers are doing that I've noticed that's kind of interesting is they're putting up like a big plastic sheet in between the front and the back so that it could block at least a sneeze or a cough. Probably a good amount, but not all the air. It's not like something that's like completely airtight, so some air could still get through, but it definitely reduces it quite a bit. I would say 50-50. Honestly, just my opinion. I'm not an expert, but from what I've read and seen as far as like the whole mask thing and people wearing masks even when they're not sick, you can still get sick wearing a mask, folks, just so you know. The particles supposedly, supposedly, I don't know for sure, but I'd rather not take the chance. The particles supposedly can still get through the mask if they're small enough that they can still get through. So you still got to keep that 6 feet of distance even with the mask. I would say it's more of just to make the people around you feel better. Like me as a driver now here in LA, they made it mandatory we have to have the masks. I would not wear one. I would just keep 6 feet of distance, but since they mandated it, then okay, executive order, I'll wear one. But really, in my opinion, it's just more of to make the customer feel better, in the event, I guess, that I have it, which, so far I seem to be okay, but who knows. But yeah, normally I wouldn't wear one. But with this sheet, again, I would say it's more of a mental thing as well. I would say it makes the driver feel better, makes it feel like they're doing something, because you do have to take action. You do have to be mindful of what you're doing today because of this virus. So you got to be aware of, oh, am I getting close to somebody? Oh, crap. And if you get to pass by somebody, hold your breath. Breathe again once you're 6 feet away. That was actually something that Rick Reviews, one of my awesome loyal viewers, mentioned. He mentioned, hey, hold your breath if you have to walk by somebody, which makes sense because you could, if somebody is infected with COVID within a few feet of you and you're breathing, you could breathe in the virus if they are within a few feet of you and they're infected. At least that's what I read on it was either the CDC website or the World Health Organization website, one of those two, which makes sense because even if it feels like, okay, dry air, they're breathing, they're not like sneezing, they're not coughing, so there's no spit, there's no droplets coming out, but there could be little tiny microscopic ones coming out when you're talking. Hey, how's it going today? Oh, I'm doing good. Yes, sometimes a lot of people spit when they talk. Sometimes spit comes out when I talk, just on accident. Could it happen with your nose? Sure, there could be tiny little droplets, tiny, maybe microscopic little droplets that come out of your nose when you're breathing, even though it feels like it's completely dry. Yeah, very possible. And so with that in mind, yeah, if you get close enough to somebody, maybe one of their microscopic droplets, you could inhale it. And if it's a COVID droplet, well, guess what? Yeah, you have COVID now. So accidentally just swiped my nose, and I can't remember if I sanitized or not. So here we go. Sanitizing the heck of where I just touched, even in the nostril a little bit. Technically, yeah, I just picked my nose in front of everybody. But I'd rather do that with alcohol and keep myself, kill whatever germ I accidentally just rubbed on top of my nose than worry about, oh, he picked his nose. Anyhow, yeah, that's my take on it. And so, with that in mind, some breath could still get through because it's not sweating in here, because it's not airtight. So it's good that they're doing something, but there's still a risk. You could still get it because you're having somebody that close to you. So what do you guys think? I want to know what you guys think. I haven't like Ubered in a while or Lyfted in quite a while. I've been sticking to just delivery. You guys who are still currently doing, are you still currently doing, anybody watching, are you still doing rideshare? Tell me. Are you still doing Uber? Are you still doing Lyft? What do you think about it? Do you feel safe? Do you feel secure? What actions are you taking? Are you disinfecting? A lot of Uber drivers are. But in addition to that problem is that the business is way down. So they're used to making, maybe $140 to $200 a day based on this article that I read from, people who do it full time. I was never like a 12-hour a day guy, but if you were to work at 12 hours a day, yes, I could have, made $200 a day easily. Usually I would just make 100 because I work, more than six hours usually, unless there's, high surge. It varies. On surge nights, yeah, it's different. I'm just talking in general average. These drivers that are used to driving up until the point where they've got, 150, $200 a day, they're taking home like 20 to 40 because there's just so little rides. But there are still some rides. So some of these Uber drivers feel obliged, like they're needed to still provide the service for those who are on the front line, like grocery workers, nurses, doctors, anybody else who works on truck drivers, whatever, anybody else who works on the front lines who still has a job but may not have a car. Yeah, they still need an Uber ride. Yeah, I totally get that. And so these guys are sticking around for them. But monetarily, it's not worth it. Let's face it, it's not worth it. But I guess you have a moral obligation. You feel you're called to still provide the service for them, and I don't knock that at all. I applaud that, actually. I think that's very cool. But keep in mind, you're kind of somewhat volunteering because you're taking home only $20 to $40 a day. You're basically volunteering to drive these people on the front line. So as long as you're okay with that, then great, which I'm not gonna knock. I think it's fine. It's totally up to you. It's up to you. Like Pete was saying in one of his videos, it's up to you. Your choice whether you currently drive or not, delivery or rideshare. I'm gonna keep doing delivery with my mask and keeping distance. Luckily I don't have to have people in my car. Man, I'm still sweating. Just food that may have, with a plastic bag that may have COVID on the plastic bag, which I'm sticking into the Grubhub bag, which is not, touching my, myself after that, not touching my face. Yeah, just putting it in, taking it, here it is, dropping it off on the doorstep to the customer, moving back, trying my best to keep the bag from touching me. But, at the end of the night, normally I will just, remove my clothing and wash it, if I have to. So it's okay because I can wash it. I'm not touching the plastic bag with the food, or a brown paper bag if it's like Fatburger or something, or fast food, or the Grubhub bag, or I'm not touching that to my face. So at least if it's just touching my clothes, I just gotta wash it at the end of the night. So the real risk, I would say more risk, is Uber drivers. Yeah, I can totally appreciate it if you keep doing it. But keep in mind, you're putting yourself at risk. All of these first responders, frontliners, the grocery store workers, they are more likely to have COVID than any other passengers. That's the thing. Your heart is in the right place of basically working for peanuts to give these people rides to make sure they get to where they need to go to do their job. But the problem is, because of their job, they're surrounded constantly or around by hundreds of people who, at least one or two, I'm sure, let's just throw a drop in the bucket, could have COVID and might, pass by, any of those people at any point. They're surrounded by more people, so they have a higher chance of being infected than anybody else. So that's the problem, is you're putting yourself at a higher chance of getting infected, even with that plastic sheet, as I mentioned, breath can still get through, than anyone else. That's the problem. So yeah, 50-50 shot. I'd say it's totally up to you, but I wouldn't if I were you, because all those people, nurses, doctors, they're around all these sick people, people that are sick that may not know that they're sick. You could easily get sick, just to make $20 or $40 in a day. That's not worth it. It's really not worth it, guys. So that's just my take. I would say file for the unemployment and get the benefits that you can get. Now that we can file for that as independent contractors, that would be my suggestion. For any Uber or Lyft driver, way too dangerous for you for that type of a job, for rideshare. So that's my take. I wish you guys luck and the best. Godspeed. May God be with you. If you are doing that, may you not get it. If you are just lucky and blessed enough to not get it, but yeah, I wish you the best. That you don't get infected, and yeah, stay safe and COVID free. Anyhow, I'll talk to you guys again in the next one.